You up there?
Yeah, there just seems to be this myth about national debt as a percentage of GDP. Somehow the Labour programme is unaffordable, but after the Second World War, the national debt as a percentage of the GDP was over 200%.
Yeah.
Now it's under 100%. If Attlee could afford to create the National Health Service, then the welfare state, all the institutions we so love, then the Corbyn's Labour government can easily afford to build the council houses and to create the National Investment Bank.
So, increase the national debt.
The question of the national debt after the Second World War is a really interesting and very important one, because that is the last time that we did have our national debt at a level anywhere near equivalent to where we are now. Now, try and remember how we ran that debt up, by having a vast war. We ran that debt up by killing a lot of people. Once you stop killing people, you can run the debt down. At the moment, we have an enormous debt, largely because we spend a vast amount of money on keeping people alive. Now, we don't want to stop doing that, do we?
Nobody says what's the problem.
So it doesn't run away in the same way.
You can run the debt. Why can't you just have a bigger debt?
Okay, well, how about the 8% of our tax revenue at the moment? 8% of tax revenue is spent on servicing our debt.
Anything wrong with that?
Now, if we add...
Anything wrong with that?
Well, it's not spent on anything else, is it? So, you know, people out
there...
there...
Yeah, but you get the money from the debt, as he said.
People out there working, paying taxes, know that this large percentage of what they pay goes straight into paying interest.
Joanna Cherry, are you in favour of the national debt going up or down?
Well, I think the point the gentleman in the audience makes is a very interesting one. But of course, what we need to remember is that there's this myth has grown up that in some way the Tories can be trusted on the economy. The Tories have missed all their own targets on the debt, deficit and borrowing. And Emily makes a very good point when she says the Tories won't put their manifesto to be looked at by the Office of Budget Responsibility. I can tell you why that is. Because their manifesto, when we eventually see it, is going to revolve around their plans for a hard Brexit. And we know that they have made absolutely no economic assessment whatsoever of the consequences of a hard Brexit. We know that because David Davies told us.
Okay. The man in the... I'll take a couple more points here. The man in the check shirt on the edge there, you.
Is Germany stuck in the 1970s? Because this manifesto doesn't seem to be pushing to the left of Germany. It remains to the right of Germany. So how is Germany stuck in the 70s?
Ben, can you take that point?
Well, I think Germany doesn't carry the weight of debt or deficit that we do, and we should all be concerned that we should continue the direction of living within our means. It is absolutely...
Taxes and giving away to billionaires and not collecting taxes from transnational corporations.
The biggest expenditure a government spends after things like the NHS and pensions, the fifth biggest expenditure, it's not education, it's not transport, it's not the police, it's debt interest on the national debt. It's £46 billion of money I can't spend, or nor can anybody else spend, on all those goodies that some people think are in the Labour manifesto. We have to live within our means, and we have to continue to do that. And I'm afraid to say, you know, that the government's record on the economy is strong. The government's record has created 2.8 million. Well, you might laugh. It's 2.8 million pounds. I mean, unless Emily wants us to cut the debt even faster, we have reduced the deficit by 100 billion.
I want you to give up on the politics of austerity. That's what I want you to do. Your idea has just not worked over the last 7 years.
One at a time, please.
All I'm saying is that I want you to stop the politics of austerity, where ordinary working people have to continue to have their services cut in order to be able to pay the debt. And guess what's happening to the debt? The debt continues to go up because we have to borrow to invest in order to get our economy going. That's the point. We cannot just go on like this. We're flatlining.
Okay. Emily wants us to go back to the days when Dennis Healey gets called back from the airport by the IMF to balance that, because their relationship with debt is carry on spending.
Got nothing to do with Dennis Healey.
Someone else will keep spending. That's the reality, and we can't get away from the record.
The woman up there.